Hi everyone. Today we will be creating a cityscape. So hopefully you all know what a cityscape is. Cityscape is like a landscape. Landscape has land. A cityscape has, it's in the city, so it's got lots of buildings. So we're not creating just a typical cityscape, we're creating a neurographic cityscape. And what does that mean? That means that every straight line that touches each other, we're going to curve it. And I'm going to go through the whole process with you. So you're going to need a piece of paper. You can have an A4 piece of paper, you can have a smaller one. I'm actually going straight in with I was going to go with a pencil and I don't actually know where my pencil is. Oh, there it is. Okay, now don't do anything too complicated. You can if you would like. I'll show you a more complicated one. So that one is a little bit more detailed. If you are confident doing it, please do it. I'm just going to give you a simple version. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to create different types of buildings. I'm going to do very similar to what I've got here. So I'm just going to start, they don't have to be completely straight. I'm just going to start doing a building with a triangular roof. I'm going to do another building there. Another one there, just put a little triangle on the top. So you're creating them, so you start from the front and then you create it, you go back, okay? Triangle, straight, triangle, sort of like a cat. And then that one, stairs down. I'm going to put a cross on that one. Okay, so that is our basic layout. Okay, and now we have to create windows to them. So in this middle one, I'm just going to create circles. You can create circles wherever you would like. Circles are easy because you don't actually have to do the neurographic on the circles because the circles are already round. I'm going to do a circle there. Do a long window there. You can make up all these windows. Now they are all geometric shapes. Now with this one, it's as if that one's open there, that one's open there, that one's open there. Something under my paper. With this one, I'll create it like that and then split it. If you can see, my lines are not straight at all. And that is okay because neurographic, you don't want any straight lines. Well, you don't, most of them you don't want straight lines. I'm going to do a triangle there. And then I'm going to do, now it looks like a frog. Like that. And then this one, I just want straight lines. Okay. Okay. So that is our basic drawing. So you won't need your pencil anymore. You can put it away. Now you're going to need a black texture. Now what you're going to do is, and I would suggest you doing this in steps. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to outline, so I'm going to trace my building shapes, okay? So just the shapes. And I'm just using a black texture, just a normal black texture. It's not a Sharpie, it's not a permanent mark, it's just a black texture. Okay. Now, as you can see, I am leaving those windows for later. I take this away just like that. I turn my page just because I find it easy to create straight lines or my lines to be a little bit neater if I'm doing it in a certain way. So if you do have to turn your paper, you can, free to do so. Like that. Okay, and now that we have traced just our shape, our building shapes, now I'm going to teach you how to do the neurographic. And I'm going to we'll just start here at the end. Now, this is as if we've got an imaginary line there, okay? So every time this line touches, we're going to curve it. See how it curves? I'm going to do the same here. So I'm going to go around my paper and I'm going to do the same. Now, if you are doing it on your classroom desk, can you make sure that you've got something underneath so you don't colour in your desk, okay? Like that. So all the way around, and we're just curving when it touches the other line, okay? Okay, so that's all the edges done. Now we're going to look here. We've got that line that connects with that line. What we do, hope you can all see, we're just going to curve it like that. See? Simple, curved. I'm going to curve that one as well. Curve. Now, why did I say for you to just do the outside? Because if you trace everything and then you do everything, you're going to lose track of what you've actually done. So like this, it's a little bit easier. So curve, these two lines curve in. You colour it in a little bit, because most of the spots you do need to colour it in, like that. Colour in. Now it connects with this one too, so colour in. This one connects as well, just curve. Now you will get the hang of it the more you do it. And that's why I've asked, start simple. Start simple with this one, and then once you feel a little bit more confident, then you can do this one. I do apologise, my son has been colouring over what I had done. It's just a little bit scribbled, but that's okay. Gives it a little bit of charm. This one we're going to curve. Curve there. And even the cross, we're going to curve that cross. Makes it a more beautiful cross. Like that, curve. So we're going to go all the way around and curve. Okay, what are we missing? We're missing this part here. And you can curve the outside of these lines, but I find it's just easy to just curve the insides. See how it's got that, you can curve it that way. I just find it easy to just curve the insides, especially when you are starting. Okay, now we're going to start doing the windows. So what I would suggest is you trace one building, do the neurographic from that building, then move on to the next building. So I'm actually going to do this one first because I don't need to create any neurographic on these ones because they are, actually, I do there. Okay. Now, if I did have to, if I created that line there, I would need to do the neurographic, the little curve there. Okay, so you can do that if you want. I'll do this one this way. It's a little bit different just to show you. Okay, and the other two I'll just leave like that. Or do you think we should? Okay, let's have a look. We'll just do it that way. So we've got them all different. Okay, sort of look like ladybugs, don't they? Okay, beautiful. Okay, so that building is done. Let's move on to this building. So I'm actually going to move it. So I'm going to trace it first. And then I'm going to go back in. So I need my curve there. Curve there. There. Now, if you see that when you are curving it, that it sort of comes out. So if I'm curving it, see how that line's a little bit thicker? Just blend it in. Okay, beautiful. Okay, that's already done. Let's move on to the next one. Let's do this circle here and this. Now this will take a while, so this will probably take 2 to 3 lessons. So you have to draw your buildings first, then trace them, then do the neurographic, and then I would probably suggest in another lesson depending on how long you've got, start colouring in, because you can colour it in with coloured pencils. You can colour it in with textures. I wouldn't use watercolours just because this is a water-based texture. So it will bleed, and it will bleed into your watercolor. So I wouldn't use it. I would use texture or colored pencil. Do this one, but it's up to your teacher and what they have in the classroom. And with this one, just the inside of that rectangle, like that. Yep. Now this one. Now you can do this neurographic technique with anything. I've done it before with students in Year 3, in Year 4. I've done it with portraits. So students have created their own portrait and they've used this technique on all their lines, and they did come out pretty good. I don't have an example here, but I might give your teachers an example. And next time they ask you to create an artwork, you can use this technique. It is pretty cool. I might show you a little example of something at the end of the video. Okay, almost done. So this takes, now I'm doing it quite quickly. You might require a little bit longer, which is totally fine. That's why you've got plenty of time to do it. And then after you've done this in another lesson, you can color it in, okay? You can also use oil pastels. That would probably be really cool. Oil pastels and blend. Now I'm not always exactly on the lines, and that's totally fine. Okay, now with this one, I find it easier to go all the way around and then do the inside. So it's literally just doing like a C on every single corner. Some turn out a little bit nicer than others, which is totally fine. That's the magic of the Neurographic. They're not all the same, and it still looks pretty cool. Okay, almost done. Done. Okay. So there we have our Neurographic. So you can then color it in using textures or using colored pencils. I'll just show you, if you are using textures, remember textures are not pencils. Please don't. When you don't do this, because you will ruin the texture, you need to slowly, one up against the other, always up, down. Creates a nice clean look of your texture, and you're not ruining the paper, because if you do go up and down like I showed you, it does go through the paper quite quickly. So it is better if you just do up, down, okay? And these liquid crayons, I'll just show you. I don't know if they're the ones you've got in the classroom, but these ones are quite thick, so they're pretty easy to use. I'm just going to do the windows with the light color. And that's why it takes a little bit longer when you're using textures, but you get a nicer finish. Okay, like that. Yep, and then you go on, and then you end up with something similar to this. Now, I'm just going to quickly show you what Neurographic would look like I'm just going to use the back of this paper. So Neurographic, you can do anything. So imagine I was drawing, I don't know, what could I draw? Oh, a paint palette. Okay, so if I were drawing a paint palette, now you're thinking, oh, but that's already curved lines, miss. Yes, it is. But I'm actually going to do like some lines throughout like that. Sort of like pop up. Okay. Now with this, every time they go past each other, they intersect, I'm going to create this, the neurographic technique, okay? So you can literally do it with anything. There. It's a pretty cool technique. Just do this quickly. You can experiment with anything, with your pets, with your portrait, be great. With your favorite food, basically anything that you like. And again, these textures are thicker, so they are a little bit easier to control and to actually create that neurographic. Now, if you were using something like a Sharpie, it does take a little bit longer just because they are, it's a thinner texture, okay? And if it's a thinner text, it just takes a little bit longer to create, sort of creating like a kind of a web. Okay. And there you go. So it's just taken something very simple and just given it a different vibe, I guess. Okay, so I'm just gonna do that. So you can color it in with color pencils. You can do it with textures. Hope you enjoy the neurographic technique. Can't wait to see your cityscapes. Bye.